Hello and welcome to Hank Games without Hank. Guess who's come to the county ground? It's the Tottenham Hotspurs. Oh, we are just going to beat the crap out of them today because we're at home, we're feeling confident. Perry's on the loose. By the way, I received an email from my assistant coach telling me that Perry has gone down in skill level. He is now a mere 66. And you know what I said? I disagree. Oh boy, we're going to have a tough game here against the Tottenham Hotspur. Consistently a top four club, and when I say consistently, I mean one of the last 3 years. That is okay. So today I'm going to tell you about a couple lesser-known Swoodilypoopers, just to get you involved in this year's club. We're going to meet Ginger Rampage, and we're also going to meet Modric, our new central midfielder. Some people say he's the new Leroy Williamson because he does score occasionally, but unfortunately, he does not yet have a fantastic song about him. So Leroy Williamson is still Leroy Williamson. Ginger Rampage, one of our main center backs, one of our best players. And geez, that is just pure domination. Pavlichenko. We don't have any players of his quality, I'm going to be honest with you. I think he's a 90 in terms of skill level, and our average player is about a 68. So, not unexpected, but hopefully we can limit the damage. I don't know. It's hard to be enthusiastic because we're going to have to lose a lot because we're in the Premier League. The teams are better. We've got to play top-class opposition day in and day out. It's not like getting ready for one game against Chelsea at semi-pro skill level. This is harder. So, Ginger Rampage, interesting character. The first thing you need to know about Ginger Rampage is that he spent many years in the Manchester United youth system and never made it to the Manchester United senior squad. That made him an angry person, which is why they called him Ginger Rampage, even though his name is P. Ramage. And also being called Ginger Rampage made him a more angry person. Generally, Ginger Rampage had a tough go of it. One of those really talented players who just never quite lived up to expectations. In my opinion, never had the right coach until now. And so for him to be playing in the Premier League after after many seasons of being in, League One, League Two football clubs is a huge deal for him. And he takes it very, very, not good. Very, very seriously. Some would say too seriously. He, in the clubhouse, after we lose, which of course these days is a lot, he's just has a hard time. He doesn't like, would have been a really good opportunity. Oh, it was a foul anyway. He doesn't like to lose, and he has a way of, I don't know if you know the famous story of Sir Alex Ferguson kicking a soccer cleat so hard that it hit David Beckham in the face and caused him to have to get 2 stitches over his beautiful, beautiful eye. But like, Ginger Rampage is that angry at the end of every game we don't win because it is his #1 priority in life to make sure that we stay in the Premier League so that we can compete against top-class opposition. And one day, in his mind, his real goal is that one day he's going to play on a team that's going to beat Manchester United, not like in a game, but in the whole season. That's going to finish higher than Manchester United, and he's going to be able to go and say, you know what, Rio Ferdinand, you know what, other people from the Manchester United program who I grew up with, I'm the champion of the Premier League now. And me, Ginger Rampage, who you used to make fun of, who you used to say, I don't have a soul. Well, look at me now. And, the guy doesn't have a family. He dates, but I wouldn't say he has a girlfriend, at least not that I've been able to tell. Look, they don't tell their coach everything, obviously, but he doesn't, ask for tickets for the same lady each game or anything the way most of these guys do. So, he doesn't have a wag. And this is it. This is his life. This is his passion, is football. And I want him to stay in the Premier League too, but I also need him to be less, because what he ends up doing is he ends up being a jerk to the other players in a way that's really alienating, particularly to one-size-fits-all, who's a super relaxed dude and like doesn't, look, he appreciates Rampage's talents, but it's not a lot of fun to hang out with him. And when you've got to share the center back position with someone who's just so intense, it's really hard work. So that's you know, and Fitz Hall is just, I mean, as cool as the other side of the pillow. I mean, when the game ends, and you go back in the locker room, you don't know if Fitz Hall scored one of his heroic and famous headers, or if Fitz Hall, you know, was responsible for giving up 4 goals. You don't even know, because it's the same Fitz Hall every single day. He's just the most relaxed, laid-back, cool guy, puts in his headphones, listens to his iPod all day. I asked him before today's game, actually, what he listens to, and he told me, and I literally cannot repeat the name of either the band or the song because they are both filthy. But, you know, it helps him. If it helps him get ready for the game, that's great. But, yeah, One Size Fitz All, ooh, he just made a really big mistake. And it cost us a goal. Robbie Keane, back when he played for Tottenham. Wow. 2-0. It's going to be a hard road in the Premier League, friends, particularly when we're playing top-class opposition like Tottenham. We're going to have to get our points against the likes of Derby County. It's not going to be ooh, that was a late foul. It's not going to be Tottenham. So we're going to do our best this season, and, of course, I'm always listening for your advice. I'm trying to do what you want me to do. It's just very hard to execute. It's just really hard to execute. You say use the run button less, and I don't use the run button as much, but it's just so hard to execute. So Modric is an interesting fellow. He does not talk, and I don't mean that he isn't talkative. I mean that he does not talk. He appears to be, I don't know if the right phrase is electively mute, but he does not talk. He did, Stone Cold Steve with the C. Austin, you've obviously got to finish there. That's an obvious finish point. He nods, and he also shakes his head. He expresses frustration. The trainer told me that he's capable of talking, so it's not a, it's not a medical issue or anything like that. It could be psychological. We don't really know. All we know is that that was a big part of the reason why he was so inexpensive on the transfer market. He's a talented player. He's a 72, and he was for sale for just $2 million. And he's not a particularly well-paid player. He only makes $11,000 a week. I mean, admittedly, who wouldn't mind making there? Oh, by the way, his name's Merrick Maric, not Modric. I want to apologize to Merrick Maric. It's hard because it's hard to know his name because, again, he never talks, so it's easy to forget about him. But he was really cheap on the transfer market, and we picked him up. And I have to say, I've been really happy with him. He's scored several goals. He controls the ball in midfield. Look, he's going back, tracking back right now, playing in defense. Doing, look at that. Nice, fairly nice tackling, nice on the ball. Nothing wrong with him, just doesn't talk. I don't know where he's from. I don't know really much about him because, and I want to emphasize this, he is electively mute. But seems like a nice guy. Nobody's had any problems with him, at least so far. Nods in the hallway when you see him. I saw him the other day. In the hallway of the Swindon Town Swoodilypooper training ground facility. And he was, it was pretty cool, actually. He was just staring at the FA Cup, which we have because we won it. And, I concluded from that he was thinking about how he wants to be a part of his own glory days here in Swindon, not only, that he doesn't want last year's club to be the only club that ever brings home hardware for the Swindon Town Swoodilypoopers. And, that I assume that he's focused on that goal. But again, I have no way of knowing because he doesn't talk. He takes direction great. For instance, I talked about how I'd like him to press a little more, how we're a pretty high-powered offense. I'd like to see him get into the box a little more often. And, he's been doing that. Oh, Stone Cold Steve with the C. Austin. Can't put it in the goal. So anyway, I'm really happy with Merrick Maric, but I don't know much about him due to his complete silence. And it's possible that he's just, really shy. I don't know. And he hasn't gotten used to us yet. And maybe he'll turn out to be just a hilarious raconteur of stories from his hometown and a tiny place in Central Europe. I have no idea. I don't know anything about the guy because so far he's just been a hot slice of silence. That was not a foul, by the way. That was just two men who were literally connected at the hip and were, you know, doing hip stuff. Oh, that's a second-degree burna from Ricardo, the Bunsen Burna. I'm not going to introduce you to him just yet because he's got a great story and it deserves an episode of its own. So I don't, yeah, I mean, I you know, it's just, it's a lot of frustration here for the Swoodilypoopers. And we're just not as talented as we should be. But other John Green's going to go score, but the game is over. Thanks for watching. We lost 2-0. We smell our armpits in shame. Before I come back to you, I'm about to leave to go on my book tour. These videos were all filmed in the past. I am taking FIFA with me on tour, and I'm going to work day and night when I'm not touring. Like when I'm not actually signing books and talking about the book and whatnot with people. All I'm going to do is focus on getting better at this game for you. Because I appreciate your support. I love the Swoodilypoopers as much as you do, and I don't want to see them fail in the Premier League at professional level. So we're going to find a way to get better and win more games. Thank you for your support. Thanks for watching, and as always, best wishes.